Welcome, everyone. Today's session is going to be a lot of fun because we are going to be covering the Fast and Curious Edu Protocol. So if you're new to this series, welcome. My name is Stephanie Howe, and I am kind of taking us through all the different Edu protocols. And we kind of did this already on Global GEG with students, but I'm taking you through like the teacher side. So if you need to see Edu protocols in action with students, there's 3 different playlists. This is book 1. This is book 1 and book 2. And then the newest book, the Math Edu protocols, is this 3rd round. Plus it has a little bit extra like that never made it into a book. So these are a must-watch series. And if you click it, you can find in the show notes which one you're looking for, and then you can click and go to that one exactly. And today we're going to be covering the Fast and Curious. So this one is a lot of fun. I believe it's in video round 2, and there's a math version, which is in round 3. So you'll actually kind of see this twice. So here is the Fast and Curious. But then there is another one in round 3, and it is Fast and Curious. I believe we called it like math. I'm trying to see if we can find it. Yep, right here. So you can watch both of those if you want to see it with students in action and kind of what those look like. But today we're going to, again, cover it, but like the teacher version of it. So let's go ahead and get started. Just a reminder, all these tabs that you see open will go onto a Wakelet at the end of the session. That Wakelet can be accessed in the description of the YouTube channel. And you can go in and you can see other sessions that we've done like Iron Chef, Sketch and Tell, Thin Slides, and more will keep being added to this Wakelet as they are presented. And so Fast and Curious will be added here. And again, it will be at the end of the session, about 15 minutes after I hit end broadcast, they will be added to this Wakelet. So feel free to use any of these resources, make a copy, customize for your own students. Let's go ahead and get started. So Fast and Curious, I wanted to share this slide deck. I want to say it was like about a month ago, I went to this conference. It was the Untamed Learning Conference, and Ben and Jen both presented at this conference. And they have a lot of resources for littles. I come from like a middle school background, grades 5 through 8. So when it comes to littles, I don't always know what they might need. So this really opened my eye to some of those kindergarten students, some of those first grade students. And yes, they can do the Fast and Curious. And so down here in their slide deck, and again, I'll link all these resources, you can go in and you're able to look at these resources and your students can play them, or you can get an idea. Like this one had to do with place value. And you can just kind of see different students here. For Fast and Curious, what you do is every single day, students will play a game. It's kind of like repetition. So every single day, they're going to play a game. It could be quizzes, Quizlet, Blooket, Gimkit, Socrative, or Kahoot. It could be any game that you kind of think about. And once they play that game, you're going to take that class average. So on Monday, let's say the students got 14%. On Tuesday, they went up to 26%. On Wednesday, they're now at 37%. Thursday, they went up to 75%. And on Friday, they're at 97%. See their growth. Students can really see how far they've grown just throughout 1 week. And you can duplicate this slide and you could change this for class 2. And maybe the classes compete. So class 1 got 13, but then on here they beat class 1. Here they really beat class 1, and then let's say this class is just rocking it. Right, so then you can kind of compare the classes and see how the students are doing compared to each other. So it's just a lot of fun for you as the teacher to kind of gamify some of that repetition, level 1 DOK type of material that students need to memorize. And so back to this slide deck, again, these are just some of the games or examples that you could play. And what you do is, like, if I was using quizzes, for example, I would sign in and I would pick a game. And then I would be able to, let's see here, be able to search different games that are available in the quizzes. So right here are a few quizzes games, and I would just click it. I would start the live quiz game. You could assign it for homework and students could play that way. But every day we would just start the live game. And then at the end of the quizzes game, you get a percentage of how your students did. And that is the average that you are putting on this sheet. This does not need to be done. If you don't want to do it digitally, you could just write it on your whiteboard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and put the percentage. And then you could put the second class right next to it if you wanted to. It does not need to have a template attached to the game, but it's just kind of a good way to motivate. So your students would go to joinmyquizzes.com, they would type in this code, and then you would start the game and students would start to play. This is a great warm-up activity as you are going around and getting to know, maybe checking homework or checking students' progress or doing attendance. You can get your students started off with Fast and Curious every single morning while you're doing some of those tasks that just need done. And it's not like a waste of instructional time. Okay. So once you have their average score, now we're going to kind of go into some of these different templates. So this one is a really cool one. It goes with multiplication facts. So here are all the quizzes, multiplication collection that you can see that Ben kind of put together. It's got all the different math facts that students might need to know. And then you just put the game code. So you would need to change this game code for your classes. And then the kids would write what day they should mastery. And they have to have mastery 5 times. Okay. You could also change it. Maybe you want to just see their score. So they could write their score. And this one is individually. So you would assign this into Google Classroom. Every student would get their own copy of this. And then you could do something like that. Maybe you didn't want to do math facts. Maybe it's vocabulary words. Or you could put your unit. So maybe you teach social studies and you have like 7 units that you teach throughout the year. So the American Revolution, I'm going to put that first. I have a game code already set up that I created last year. And then the kids just have to master that unit, showing that they know those vocabulary words for that unit or whatever. So it's just a great way to do that. And this is with quizzes. On this one, I kind of took Ben's idea, but I used Quizlet. So I actually kind of adapted his game board and I just added Quizlet because we don't have the pro version of quizzes. And so when we were to do homework, there wasn't a long enough time for us to do that. I think homework was like 1 or 2 weeks and we needed it over about a month. So we decided to use Quizlet. And the students were just going to use the gravity and match games so they could have kind of a choice. And then what they would do is they would get their score at the end of the game on how they did. So they would kind of say if they've met mastery. They could also use that learn and that kind of stuff. So another great way for students to master vocabulary using a similar way, but using a different application. And then on here, they also have, again, a ton of ideas with little. So like here's a CVC word example that you could use maybe with your students. This one was using sound to letters. So students are listening to what sound matches that letter. This one, again, using the 10 frame. And then sound recognition. So students are really listening and then they're picking what sound goes with that. So great for blended learning, great for that basic reading type of activities. Great. And then there's some more first grade examples that goes over like adding and subtracting. And down here, you can see even more resources. So this one is a whole collection on phonics and reading. This one's a whole collection on sight words, math quizzes. This one has all of the adding, subtracting, mixed addition, and addition to 100. So tons of good resources in this slide deck, and I just wanted to share it because I learned so much when I watched this session, just because I am more focused at that middle school level. And so they kind of brought me down a little bit, was like, oh, this can be done with littles. And I kind of stole some of their ideas and adapted it to that higher grade level. So again, you can see here, it has a great Google Doc that I think Jen created. And then here are the quizzes examples as well. And of course, Kim Vogie has an Edu Protocols of the Week. And here is the Fast and Curious one. And so she talks about quizzes, Quizlet, Booklet, Gimkit, Socrative, Kahoot. And again, you can use any of these, and it is one quick rep. Students get that immediate feedback. They know which words they've missed, and then one more rep to keep going. And again, this could be maybe not one more rep. It could be 5 more reps because you're doing it every single day. And then you're watching that class average, and it's going up every single day because these kids are really mastering the material. So here might be like a plan for, so Monday through Thursday, they might do like a quiz, mini lesson, quiz, and then they're kind of like following up. So just like they're doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the kids might do a Quizlet. And then on Wednesday, the words that they miss from that Quizlet, maybe they're doing a FRAIR model. Maybe they're doing another Edu protocol like a Thin Slides. Maybe you're doing something like the Learning 360 where all the kids are working around the room on these different things just to get them to learn the words that they've missed or the concepts that they're missing. And then again, Thursday, Friday, they're completing that quizzes game, and maybe there's a quiz on Friday over those different words. Another idea, maybe the kids are rocking it. And so Monday, Tuesday, you do quizzes, and they're already up to like 80%. Okay, well, throw it into another game where maybe they have to enter the short answer response and it's not multiple choice, just to throw them off a little bit and see how well they do. So just kind of change the order, change the platform, see if they're still mastering that material. So you can do this multiple different ways to kind of engage your students. And then, of course, there's a Padlet here with a ton of activities for Fast and Curious. So someone uses it for spelling. They use quizzes every week, multiplication facts, and here's the Master of Multiplication Challenge that Ben made. And then there's one like on Charlotte's Web. So they created like a quizzes, and then I added some of my resources. So many great ideas that you can check out on this Padlet of how to use Fast and Curious in your classroom. Okay. And thank you so much for joining this session today on Fast and Curious. Make sure you fill out that feedback form if you need a certificate of attendance, and I'll throw this into the chat. And just a reminder, I will open up the Wakelet collection and I will throw all of these different tabs right into the Fast and Curious one, and it will be available about 15 minutes after I end this session. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining us during this Gold EDU professional learning session. Make sure you check out our website at goldedu.org, where you can find out more information about us and how to follow us on all these different social media platforms. You can come and see upcoming events, and you can also book a session for your school, district, or a coaching session. You can also get Gold EDU swag if you want to show off your goldness. Also, make sure you fill out the feedback form at bit.ly, capital G, Gold, EDU, feedback. And this will give you a certificate of attendance. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure you check back so you can enjoy all the Gold EDU professional learning opportunities.